Welcome the one and only Molly Ringwald to the show. Good to see you. Oh. I love the bob haircut.
Thank you.
Very fresh.
Thank you.
And with having teenagers, I imagine that it's important to keep it fresh.
That's
for them.
right.
You
That's
look
right.
great. I was thinking about the movie 16 Candles, and I remember when I turned 16, I said, Dad, where's my car? Where is my 16 candle? I mean, just the story of our lives.
Yeah.
When you look back at it with the fresh eyes of a mom, as I said, and so involved in their lives, did you know or realize the impact all of that would have one day?
No, not at all. I mean, I knew that I was making, particularly with the Breakfast Club, I knew that I was doing something that I hadn't seen, that I wanted to see. But I had no idea that anybody would still be talking about it all these years later.
Well, because it really layered the teenager journey, right?
Yeah.
Because we were all one-dimensional teenagers. You're the bratty kid or certain types, but this was, these were personalities that were in your classrooms. These were personalities in your neighborhood.
And it was taking teenagers seriously and saying that they had something to say, they had a point of view, and what they said mattered. And that was extraordinary for the time and for today. I have teenagers. I mean, I have one almost 18-year-old next month.
Gosh.
Believe it. It happens really fast. And I have two 12-year-olds. So for me, you know, it's very much on my mind.
You were recently very open and very vulnerable about the passing of your dad, jazz musician, Robert Ringwald, and I love that in your remembrance of him, you talked about his sense of humor.
Yeah.
And what that meant for you. And I'm sure sharing those stories with your children.
Yeah, he was really, really important person to me. And I'm just very fortunate that I had somebody that special.
You know, I can relate to it in so many ways. I was raised by my stepfather, and I tell people all the time, I'm the woman I am because of my mother, and I'm the woman I am because of my dad.
That's right.
And we don't talk enough about, you know, that girl-dad aspect of life, that you need that person.
Yeah, and my father and I were very, very similar in certain ways. We both had a very mischievous, you know, and I still have a mischievous sense of humor. I get all my musical ability from my father. You know, we were also very different, you know, particularly politically.
Yeah.
I'm a liberal. You know, you might even say I'm a bleeding heart liberal. And my dad was really much more conservative. But
so Thanksgiving was a blast.
Well, we sort of agreed not to talk about certain things because our relationship, you know, was more important and was sort of beyond all of that. But I have to say, you know, one thing that we really did agree on was vaccination.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I like to talk about today is, you know, I'm a spokesperson for the 16vaccine.org, which is helping to educate parents about the meningococcal disease, which is a rare but potentially deadly disease. And the CDC recommends that kids have their first vaccination at age 11. And then the second one is supposed to happen at 16. And unfortunately, they have found that about half of all kids are not getting that crucial second dose. And there's, you know, a lot of reasons why, probably COVID being one of the number one. It's just sort of like, you know, what else do we have to think about? But, you know, even with COVID, all of these childhood, adolescent diseases still exist. And so I'd really like to help parents help protect them against this deadly disease.
I think it's powerful that your father and your own children inspired you to step out of your role as actress and be here as a mom willing to help educate other parents about something so important.
Well, I feel really strongly about it. I mean, I've been professional, you know, for most of my life, but I think I always say that my most rewarding and my most challenging job is that of a parent, you know? I mean, you know,
I get it.
Anybody who's a parent knows that, you know, it's a full-time job and you never stop thinking about your kids and worrying about them. And, you know, and as a parent, I want to do anything I can to help protect my kids, and getting them vaccinated and protected against these preventable illnesses. I mean, I've been doing a lot of this campaign with Leslie Mayer, who unfortunately was one of the people who lost her perfectly healthy 17-year-old son, who was the quarterback on the football team. And you sit with her and you think, I mean, what that must be like. And she didn't even know. I mean, I think at that time they didn't have the vaccination, but it wasn't even on her radar. So many people don't think about it because it is relatively rare.
Which is what you're doing. I mean, that's why you're here with us. I mean, listen, it's great to reminisce about the past, but we're talking about our future.
That's right.
And you want to encourage parents to talk with their children and talk with each other about this.
And talk to their teen's doctor.
Right.
You know, and not just about the MenACWY, but all of the other adolescent vaccinations that they might have forgotten about because of everything that's going on in their lives.